Welcome back to Whispers from Unknown Frequencies, where the universe always has one more secret to whisper. Tonight, we're diving into 6 strange events that scientists still debate, eyewitnesses argue about, and skeptics love to tear apart. Some have rational explanations, others, well, you decide for yourself. Let's start with something that shouldn't be possible. A planet that sings back. Saturn doesn't just orbit quietly. It broadcasts eerie, rising and falling radio waves that sound almost intentional. NASA's Cassini probe recorded these signals, a haunting mix of whistles, hums, and rhythmic pulses. Scientists say they're caused by charged particles hitting Saturn's magnetic field. But the strange part? Well, sometimes the patterns sound like they're having a conversation, and not a random storm. Are we just hearing space weather, or something we don't understand yet? NASA's probe picked up a signal, but it wasn't static. It was singing. In 2004, the Cassini spacecraft moved into Saturn's magnetosphere, a region filled with charged particles and radio emissions. But inside that noise, scientists heard something impossible. A rising and falling pattern, almost like a vocal warm-up. Almost human. They called it Saturn kilometric radiation, or SKR for short. A natural phenomenon. That's what the reporters say. But when frequencies were converted into audio, people didn't hear physics. They heard a melody, long notes and pauses that almost felt intentional. But they also heard a tone, and it sounded like somebody was calling out across an ocean. Scientists offered explanations: plasma waves, auroras, electromagnetic storms. But others wondered, what if the universe is just vibrations? Then why couldn't something out there use sound? What if Cassini didn't just record noise? What if he recorded a message, or a memory, or a voice that's been echoing through space for millions of years? And here's the part they don't mention often. The closer Cassini got to Saturn's rings, the clearer the singing became. As if something was waiting, or watching, or finally being heard. So tell me, if a planet sings, who or what is the audience? Alien communication or cosmic echo? Comment your thoughts below, and follow me here, where the unknown becomes unforgettable. By the way, all credit goes to NASA, JPL, and Caltech University of Iowa. Thank you for the recording. But Saturn isn't the only mystery NASA's dealt with. Because while studying one cosmic puzzle, they lost another, forever. When humanity took its first steps on the moon, ultra high quality footage was recorded on special tapes. Footage far clearer than what the public saw on TV. And then, the original tapes vanished. NASA insists they were accidentally erased during routine magnetic tape recycling. Others say it's suspicious that history's most important recording is just gone. Was it simple negligence? Or was there something on those tapes that we were never meant to see? They say that history is written in stone. But sometimes, the most important moments vanish. NASA recorded Apollo 11's original moonwalk footage, and then lost it. In 1969, the first steps on the moon were captured on 13 massive telemetry tapes. These tapes were the clearest, rawest, and highest quality version humanity would ever see. But those tapes, well, they disappeared. The official story: they wiped over humanity's greatest achievement. Billions of dollars, thousands of people involved. And the master tapes of Apollo 11 were recorded over like an old VHS. At least, that's what the documents say. But archivists pointed out something strange. There were backup logs missing, checkout sheets with no signatures, and no clear trail showing who handled the tapes last. Even stranger, there were reports of frames the public never saw, sharper images, odd shadows, and unexplained reflections in the visor. Some believe the tapes were erased to save money. Others say they were quietly pulled and locked away. But a growing number thinks something else was recorded, something not meant for broadcasts. An anomaly on the surface, a voice in the static, a second figure where there shouldn't have been one. So was it human error, a bureaucratic mistake, or evidence of something NASA didn't want us to see? If the moon holds secrets, who decided we weren't ready for them? Comment your thoughts down below, and follow me here, where the unknown becomes unforgettable. But while NASA lost footage, astronomers witnessed something vanish on its own: a star. In 2019, researchers noticed a massive bright star simply stopped shining. Not faded, not exploded, just gone. Some believe it was quietly collapsed into a black hole. Others say dust clouds blocked it, even though nothing else in the region dimmed. And a few fringe theories argue the unimaginable, that it may have been artificially obscured.
Imagine watching the night sky,
used,
knowing every star you see has burned longer than humanity has existed. Some of these stars are older than our planet. Some are older than our sun. Then suddenly, one of them just blinks out. Not in a million years, not in centuries, but overnight. In 2019, astronomers were monitoring a supergiant star, cataloged as Virgo 915. For decades, it pulsed exactly the same way: predictable, bright, stable. Then one evening, the telescope logged its usual reading. And by the next morning, that star was gone. No fading, no explosion, no supernova, just erased. Normally when a star dies, it goes out with a cosmic scream. A burst of radiation, fragments, debris, but this one left nothing. Not even dust, as if somebody flipped a switch in the sky. Some scientists suggest that the star might be hiding behind dust. Others believed it collapsed directly into a black hole, silently. But that shouldn't be possible. Not without a trace, not without a signature, and definitely not without a warning. Then came the strangest discovery. For 12 seconds before it vanished, the star emitted a frequency, and it wasn't recorded anywhere else in the universe. A pattern, repeating every 3.4 seconds. It was deliberate, intentional, almost alive. One astronomer described it as a cosmic heartbeat looking for something or someone. If stars can disappear without dying, if they can send out signals before they go, then maybe they're not burning out. Maybe they're being taken. Or maybe the universe isn't as empty as we thought. If a star can vanish without a trace, what else could disappear next? Comment your thoughts down below, and follow me here, where the unknown becomes unforgettable.
There is a different kind of star story that isn't light years away at all. Because this next mystery involves people, aliens, and swapping places. According to leaked documents and anonymous insiders, the US allegedly exchanged a team of 12 humans with an alien civilization from the planet called Serpo. The story claims they lived there for years, documenting the planet's environment, culture, and technology. Skeptics point out the lack of physical proof, But believers, well, they argue the details are too specific to fake. Real secret exchange program, or one of the most elaborate science fiction tales ever told. In the 1960s, during the height of the Cold War, the United States allegedly made a deal, not with another country, but with another world. It began with a leaked document, plain and dry, stamped with top secret. But between the lines was something unbelievable. A classified exchange program between humans and extraterrestrials. The story claimed, after the Roswell incident, communication was established with a species known as the Ebens. The Ebens are described as a small, grayish humanoids from a planet called Serpo, located in the Zeta Reticuli system. I hope I'm saying that right. And, according to the files, they made an offer. In 1965, 12 specially selected US personnel allegedly boarded an alien spacecraft and left Earth. No cameras, no communication, and no guarantee they'd return. For 13 years, nothing was heard. Then, according to the insiders, only 8 came back. Their reports, heavily redacted, and it described a planet with 2 suns, strange vegetation that glowed at night, time passing differently, and beings who can communicate without speaking. But the most disturbing detail? The crew claimed that before the departure, the Ebens already knew their names, their histories, and something else. And that was the exact date Earth would come and contact them again. To this day, Project Serpo is dismissed by officials as a hoax, a myth, a conspiracy too wild to believe. But the files keep resurfacing, witnesses keep talking, and every leak seems to know something that the last one didn't. If the story is real, then 12 people didn't just visit another world. They proved something far bigger. They proved that we're not alone, and we haven't been for a long time. Science fiction, or science hidden? Comment your thoughts below, and follow me here, where the unknown becomes unforgettable. But while Serpo is debated, the next mystery comes with a photograph that NASA actually released. It includes something that shouldn't be there. A Mars rover snapped a routine footage of its own shadow, except there were 2. One shadow aligned perfectly with the rover, and the second looked like a figure standing beside it. It was upright, shaped, distinct. NASA called it a distortion, just rocks catching the light in a strange way. But many argue that the form looks too defined to be random. Optical trick? Or something standing next to a robot explorer. A Mars rover took a routine photo of its own shadow. But this time, there were 2. One belonged to the rover, but the other didn't. In NASA's massive archives of rover images, there's one photo that keeps resurfacing. In it is a shape. It's tall, narrow, almost humanoid, and stands beside the rover as if watching it work. Some say it's a trick of the light, others insist it's something else. NASA never issued an explanation. Online analysts claim that the angle is wrong for a rock formation, and that the shadows look too defined, almost like it's standing upright. Of course, not everyone agrees. It could be anything: lighting, distortion, image compression, and Mars's jagged terrain can all create illusions. But if that's all it is, why does the shadow look so deliberate? Is it a camera glitch, a trick of the light, or proof that the rover wasn't alone? What do you think Mars is hiding? Comment your thoughts down below, and follow me here, where the unknown becomes unforgettable. But if that wasn't unsettling enough, the last mystery is one that hasn't happened yet. Radio telescopes occasionally catch these strange bursts, but one repeating anomaly was different. According to leaked analysis, the signal's pattern resembles a timestamp posting to the year 2028. Researchers dismissed it as a random coincidence. Others believed it's a warning, or a message sent backwards in time. We don't know until we get there, but whatever the truth is, the signal leaves one final question. Are we detecting the future? Or is the future trying to contact us? SETI, short for the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, logs thousands of signals every year. Most are meaningless. But one message didn't just stand out. It predicted something that hasn't happened yet. A deep space array in Nevada desert recorded a repeating signal. It wasn't random, nor was it cosmic background noise. It was structured, coded, like the message was sent on purpose. This pattern referenced astronomical events. One scientists say were scheduled to occur decades later. Except, one of them happened days after the signal was received. And then something stranger happened. Buried deep in the frequency was a sequence resembling Earth's coordinates. These coordinates pointed in the Pacific Ocean, where no human structures exist. The team who decoded it claimed that the message wasn't from 2028. Instead, it was about 2028. But here's the part they buried. The frequency it arrived on was one humans haven't used yet. One scientist insisted that it couldn't have been a coincidence. He said it felt more like a warning, or a reply from something, or someone already aware of us. So what do you think? Coincidence? Or contact? Comment your thoughts down below, and follow me here, where the unknown becomes unforgettable. Six mysteries stretched from the rings of Saturn to the sands of Mars. From missing footage to missing stars. From secret journeys to possible messages across time. Some of these stories have explanations, and others don't. But each one reminds us how big the unknown still is. If you enjoyed traveling through these mysteries, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Because the truth might not be out there. It might be right here, waiting to be discovered together. Until next time, you've been watching Whispers from Unknown Frequencies. Good night.